US, and the Senate has passed a short-term government funding bill and sent it to the House of Representatives. The bill would fund the government through January the 30th and provide some agencies with funding for the rest of the fiscal year. The House returns to Washington on Wednesday and could hold votes as early as 4 p.m. local time. Lawmakers will need to complete several steps before the final passage, with multiple votes expected on Wednesday evening. Meanwhile, GOP Whip Tom Emmer urged members to stay tuned for updates on the timing of votes. The legislation aims to reopen the government and avoid a shutdown, keeping federal operations running while negotiations continue. Okay, now joining us is David K. Johnston, an American author, and he joins us live from New York City. Thank you very much, David, for joining us here. The Senate has passed this funding bill, and it's set to vote possibly by Wednesday. What factors are now left to determine whether the longest shutdown in American history truly ends?
Well, I think you're going to see the votes to change this, but a number of liberal Democrats in the House and the Senate are very upset about the 5 senators who went along with agreeing to reopen the government. They feel this was a caving in to Trump. I see this somewhat differently. They got a promise that there would be more money for food assistance for the poorest people, and President Trump is in court right now trying to prevent the payment of these benefits to people, particularly in a couple of states where they went ahead and used state funds to cover the full amount of nutrition assistance. They also got a promise of a vote on extending tax credits that allow poor people to afford health care. That vote will fail when it happens, if it does in December, but it will allow the Democrats to say that the Republicans are against health care for working class and poor people in America. So this may turn out to be something that the liberal Democrats will be happy with, but we won't know until we see what happens with those votes over the next month.
Yes, and beyond the politics, what are the near-term economic and operational risks if the shutdown lingers despite this bill?
Well, you saw the shift toward reaching a resolution when the federal government ordered airlines to cut flights, currently by about 4%. For a city like Las Vegas or Orlando that's all tourism-based, this is an absolute fundamental attack on the local economics of those communities, and people were making their views very clear to their senators and representatives about it. Of course, Donald Trump could have prevented that by having military air controllers step in to help civilian air controllers, but he decided that he wanted to inflict more pain, just as he did when he decided to fight in court and to threaten various state governors if they provided food to the poor.
Yeah, and David, who's made more concessions here, the Republicans or the Democrats, if this bill was to go through?
Well, there's some concessions on both sides, but I think once we get past the immediate quick reactions, we're going to see that the Democrats actually did quite well here, because they got the Republicans to agree to hold some votes, and they got more food for people who don't make enough money to properly feed themselves and their children. So if we look back at this 6 months from now, I think we'll see the Democrats did better than the initial short-term reactions to this.